But first, with the most recent unemployment figures showing a huge rise in the number of young people looking for work, apprenticeships are becoming increasingly popular. Bristol City Council welcomed its 22 new faces today, chosen from more than 400 applicants. And more businesses are being encouraged to do the same. John Maguire reports.
They are apprentices in the more traditional meaning of the word, until that is, you ask them what jobs at Bristol City Council they're training for.
I'm going to be working as an apprentice in the press and media department.
Business and admin department.
Business and administration, young people with children's skills.
Customer service for the city museums.
Not Lord Sugar, but the Lord Mayor of Bristol welcomed this latest intake. They've already come a long way, having been chosen from hundreds of young people. They also met some predecessors who shared their experience of the scheme.
A lot of my mates now have got their qualifications from uni and college and they're finding it hard to get work because they haven't got that experience of working life. I thought it's going to be much easier for me if I get that experience now, get the qualifications as I'm learning. It's been really good for me.
It is really beneficial to be able to say I actually do this on a daily basis. Without the qualification, I think experience is always really beneficial and makes you look really good.
The best way to learn how to strip down and, of course, rebuild an engine is to do it. Phil Thomas is an apprentice maintenance engineer with a bright future.
At the moment I've got a smaller income and hopefully in the following years they could pay for me to go on to university or such further education.
And politicians from all sides are trying to figure out the best way to get young people into training, work or education. Today the Shadow Business Secretary said there's still much more to be achieved.
So we need more apprentices. I think there are two things we should say. One is, if you're going to get a contract with the government or local government, you should be required to create an apprenticeship for young people. And secondly, we should put back into the law the guarantee that Labour had, which was that a young person with the right qualifications is guaranteed an apprenticeship.
Guarantees, though, may prove hard to come by in the current economic climate. As for the future, well, it's in their hands. John Maguire, BBC Points West, Bristol.
Well, one of our MPs is very passionate about this. Richard Graham is the Conservative MP for Gloucester, and he's been actively campaigning in Parliament for more apprentices and even taken one of his own on. So, Mr. Graham, why are you so passionate about this?
Well, apprenticeships are great news. They're good for business, they help businesses to grow, they're good for getting young people into jobs, and they help improve our skill rates across the country. So on all three measures, good news.
Good news for the young people who might be taken on, but an added expense, an added burden, surely, for the businesses when times are very tough.
Well, you could look at it like that, or you could look at it as a great opportunity, because for relatively small amounts of money, and it's up to the business to decide how many hours a week the apprentice works, you've got the opportunity of having a bright young person come and make a real difference to your office. If you put a lot into it, you'll get a lot of productivity out of your apprentice.
You've found it successful in Gloucester, haven't you? You've been pushing for this and there have been some good reactions.
Very good reactions. I mean, the apprentice startups in Gloucestershire in 2010 to 11 are double what they were in the previous year. And we've got another 4,000 people who are waiting for an apprenticeship. So it's hugely popular. It goes back to what we know used to work. And so we're not having to reinvent the wheel. People already know the brand of an apprentice and they like it.
I suppose what some people might be quite nervous about is what if it doesn't work and then I've got the apprentice. Now, you've got personal experience of this, haven't you?
I have, yes. The first apprentice I took, and I'm afraid didn't quite work out. And so when I came to recruit another one, I did more research, I spent more time with her family, and I was more convinced that she was the right person for that job at that time. And Laura has been a fantastic success. She's helped people get reconnected to their BT lines when they were cut off last month, doing amazing things for someone who's 17.
And what about other MPs? You're pushing for them to embrace this idea as well, aren't you?
Yes, I'm halfway through a survey of all MPs to find out who's got an apprentice, who's thinking of taking one, who doesn't know much about it, who's interested. And the idea is to try and get 100 of us to take on apprentices so that we can then get John Hayes, the Minister, to host a reception for all 100 of them.
And with support from the government?
With support from the government, but the object is really to show the country that you can have an apprentice in any line of business. My apprentice does business admin, but you know, she could be doing marketing or...
Well, like in the Bristol Council that we saw there. Mr. Graham, thank you very much for coming in to chat to us.